Hey guys, what is up, and I welcome each and every one of you to a new League of Legends video. So as you see in the clip right now, I use that ultimate, and the second the shadow expires, take a look, the ultimate is up in literally under a second. Now this is legitimately possible in like an actual season 10 League of Legends game. Now of course in this clips that you're watching right now, we were at Riot Games, we were kind of testing this out, right? You can see we have a lot of gold. We just kind of sped up the game, right? We're not actually using any cheats to lower cooldown, nothing like that. You can see all my other abilities, you know, the Q, the W, all the cooldowns are more or less normal. Even there you saw my ultimate was actually on a 5-second cooldown. So there's a lot of factors that go into this. So throughout this video guys, I'll be going over exactly what's happening, let you guys know how you could do this yourself in a season 10 game, because it's actually a lot more possible than you would think, right? It's not just some kind of like random one-off chance. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy. If you do, don't forget to hit that like button. But let's just get right into it. Alright, so there are a few factors that come into obviously making something as ridiculous as this actually work out. And again, don't forget guys, this does work on other champions. This is not obviously just Zed specific, I just used them as an example. But of course, this does seem pretty darn ridiculous considering any other champion can do it. Anyways, alright, so what is going on? How is this possible? I'm sure you are wondering and scratching your head. So first off, you of course are going to need to have the maximum amount of CDR. As you can see, I have 45%, of course, taking Cosmic Insight, right? That's step one. Also, very quickly guys, I will be showing you some Qiyana gameplay in the background as we're explaining, because I haven't shown Qiyana yet for season 10, so check it out. Alright, so let's get back to it. Step 1, like I said, Cosmic Insight with 45% CDR. Step 2, of course, you're going to need the obvious Ultimate Hunter. If you're not aware, Ultimate Hunter is an ability, or I guess a rune, that essentially, after you stack it up to 5 out of 5 stacks by killing a unique champion in the enemy team, so all 5 of the champions at a certain point, that gives you massive cooldown reduction on your ultimate. But as of right now, the things I'm explaining and telling you guys about obviously isn't really anything new or specific to Season 10. I mean, you can do that right now, right? And if you were to do that right now, you would actually get your ultimate cooldowns to a pretty substantially low number, but not something as ridiculous as what we've been seeing. Well, this is where the new stuff, the Season 10 stuff, finally kicks in to make this actually possible. So the only way to make this work is if the third dragon that spawns in your game is the new air dragon, because guys, don't forget, the new air dragon no longer does it give you movement speed if you kill it for your team. Now it gives you that juicy ultimate cooldown reduction. So if you were to absolutely maximize the stacks of all of the air dragons, and even to make it even better, get the air dragon soul, which of course when you ult you get movement speed, but what you also get, which is important sometimes, is you per auto attack reduce the cooldown of your ultimate even further. So in this clip guys, you're gonna see, if I press tab, you're gonna be noticing the fact that we have of course all of the air dragons. So those 4 air dragons is 4 dragon souls, plus of course we have the dragon soul, which even further reduces it per auto attack. Now I know on other champions like Lux and stuff, you can get it to like a 4-second cooldown, which is also pretty cool. But there is a reason why it works even better on Zed. So take a look at this clip again. Notice that if I wait for my ultimate shadow to expire, or I press the R button, essentially as the shadow is about to expire, during that whole time that the shadow is there for my ultimates, the ultimate's cooldown is lowering, right? Especially if I'm auto-attacking. In those cases, I'm not even auto-attacking. Imagine if I was. So if you're not auto-attacking and you're just standing still, essentially like I did there, you can let the shadow expire, press the R button to take the shadow at pretty much the last second before it expires, and that will bring it down to just under a 1-second cooldown. If you were to press your shadow R button early, let's say you press your R button, you put a death mark on somebody, then you press the R button to go back to the shadow like almost instantly, right? Then the ultimate cooldown will be on like a maybe 5 or 6-second cooldown, which of course is still substantially low. But this makes it really cool because you can use that R button, right, to make some cool jukes, take the shadow at the last second, and then instantly ult someone once again, and you're just going to be jumping around the team fights late game like there's no tomorrow. It's going to be nearly impossible to keep track of Zed if of course you're lucky enough to get to that late game part of the game itself with all those air dragons, and it's going to make things a living nightmare for the enemy team. So now unfortunately when I was at Riot, we didn't get too much time to really test out too many other things, or I couldn't really test out this CDR kind of trick, if you will, on other champions as well. But another way to make this even crazier, if you really want to go just to the uppermost limits, I don't think I did this game because I'm pretty sure I took something else or something. I don't remember if I did it this game, but if you really want to, what you can do is, so on top of what I did, which is of course Cosmic Insight and stuff, right, 45% CDR, you can also go Precision Tree, and you can go for Presence of Mind, because that's per assist or kill will even further reduce the cooldown of your ultimate. So you can maybe even play someone like Karthus. Go all of these runes. Of course, you have to pick 2 of the 3. So let's say you maybe, you keep it at 40% CDR instead of 45% CDR with Cosmic Insight, right? But then you go Presence of Mind instead. So you have Presence of Mind, right? You have all of these air dragons giving you 25% in itself only. And then you also have Presence of Mind with Ultimate Hunter. That's just going to make your ultimate cooldown on someone like Karthus or someone that just has those big cooldowns so low and just super ridiculous that sometimes part of me kind of worries, you know, like how is this going to really impact season 10 gameplay and ranked? Like what if a team gets all these dragons and they have these powerful ultimate buttons, you know? How are we supposed to play around that, right? Because that's going to be a little bit concerning. I expect maybe, just maybe, that Riot might nerf the air dragon with how much CDR it's giving. I don't know. I just kind of hope that something is going to happen with that. Now, before people kind of maybe freak out over this because it seems ridiculous, which again, it is at the end of the day, don't forget that this, of course, is not something you'll be getting very often in a game because, again, don't forget that in order for this to actually work, this means that the third dragon has to be air, which, of course, is a 1 in 4 chance, but it means that the enemy team has to get the first 2 dragons. You can't get any of the first 2 dragons on your team because that, of course, will take up one of the dragon slots that you can have total, because there's, I think, 4 you can have total per team. So the enemy team has to get the first 2. That's very, very important. The air dragon spawns as the third dragon. Then your team has to come out victorious and get the next 4 dragons in a row. So because you guys lost the first 2, unless you purposely gave it to them because, you know, big brain plays, you guys are probably going to be behind compared to the enemy team. So unless you guys find like a really big opportunity to get ahead of them, this will be something that's a little bit difficult to pull off successfully, though of course it is very much not impossible. Now, another way you can make this really cool, especially with someone like Zed, is if you go for the new lethality item, Sanguine Blade, right? Don't forget, when you're split pushing, that item gives you up to 80% increased attack speed. So assuming, of course, you have all of the air dragons, right? You have the air dragon soul, which of course, per auto attack, gives you, I think like a 1/4 second reduction in cooldown of your ultimate per auto attack, right? So if you're dueling somebody and you have all these other factors already there, and then you're also auto attacking them as fast as an 80% extra attack speed, of course, with Sanguine Blade, I mean, you're going to be getting your ultimate even faster than what I've been showing you. Like, you wouldn't have to even wait until the end of the duration of like the shadow from your ultimate. You wouldn't have to wait till the end of it to take the shadow, and then of course your ultimate is essentially up in under a second, right? You can probably auto attack them and take the shadow back, you know, a little bit early, like I say, halfway through the duration of the shadow, and you'll probably have your ultimate up pretty much instantly, which is gonna make it pretty much next to impossible to beat Zed in a one-on-one. So I'm kind of just brainstorming other ideas because I just didn't really get a chance to test too many things out at Riot Games, right? There was a lot of things that we were doing that we didn't have time to just sit there and test for just literally everything we possibly wanted to. But yeah, hopefully this video gave you guys a pretty interesting kind of depiction as to what Season 10 can offer. And I feel like some people might be worried, and I don't really blame you. But again, don't forget, guys, this example that you're seeing, though it's not impossible, is not something you'll be seeing in every single game whatsoever. I think I would even guess it's about in one game out of like 100 at the least, if even that, right? Because again, there are quite a bit of circumstances. Mainly, of course, the hardest one to pull off are, of course, the 4 air dragons. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think of Season 10 so far. I've released a bunch of videos. This is actually going to be my last one from Riot Games, at least, right? Before it hits the PvE server in, I think, a few days or something like that. So let me know what you think about the season so far. I do want to hear your opinion down below in the comment section. Do you like it? What do you like about it? What do you not like about it, right? Which changes maybe worry you the most? Which champions do you think will be OP? Do you think any champions with any specific kind of combinations or builds, or these air dragons, or of course maybe the new mountain dragon that's, you know, stacks up armor and MR if you have full stacks of it? Maybe something with a champion could be completely disgusting, like Rammus and Thornmail, and like, you know, 4 mountain dragons or something just absolutely unkillable. So there's a lot of really cool things like that, guys, and hopefully we'll get a chance to test them out. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know what you're thinking about this video specifically as well, with these air dragons and all the CDR reduction on ultimates that I can offer, and what new kind of plays and opportunities it can now dish out. Maybe this will make Zed actually good, assuming of course you're lucky enough to get these circumstances. I think otherwise Otherwise, lethality itself, which I made a video about, if you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend you do so. Lethality itself, it seems like a so-so stats. I mean, if you snowball, it's strong. If you don't, I think it's even weaker personally. So you gotta, I guess if you pick Zed, cross your fingers that you get a bunch of air dragons that allow you to actually do something later on in the game and actually become a useful champion. Either way, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. But tomorrow or the day after, we are back to our more or less normal journey to Heartstuck videos. But either way, guys, thank you all so much for watching. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.